Hello everyone and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto YouTube Charts video. I am No FOMO Charts. Today is Thursday, November 13, 2025. I am making this video a few days earlier than usual. Welcome everyone. This is a swing trading and investing YouTube Charts channel. Let's prepare for the upcoming week. Another big week for earnings releases. We have earnings coming out from Home Depot, Nvidia, Lowe's, Target, Walmart, Intuit, Macy's as well. Nvidia and Target going to be the two biggest, in my opinion, earnings next week. Economic data, we have FOMC meeting minutes, unemployment claims, existing home sales, consumer sentiment, inflation expectations, and Treasury currency report as well. News, technology stocks, AI stocks, quantum stocks continue their sell-off. The USA government shutdown has officially ended. The bill was signed. Overvalued stocks, interest rate cut uncertainty, pessimistic consumer sentiment, and downtrending price charts all contributed to the stock market sell-off. Institutional selling has increased this year in both the stock market and crypto market. Cryptocurrencies as well are selling off and currently downtrending in their price, and that is correlating with the stock market. It's mostly institutional selling, and whales are selling crypto as well. This week, I'll just do 4 charts. Keep it simple. S&P 500, Nasdaq ETFs, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. They're all testing their support zones to the downside. Let's see. Let's give more insight to these charts. SPY, S&P 500. Daily chart, we're still in the uptrend, believe it or not. However, we're testing this yellow diagonal trend line for about 3 to 4 months. We're approaching that support level, which is right around 670 in the price. This exact zone, 670, and the next level down will be about 660. What's happening is we had a bounce attempt. The news is too bad. Institutions are actually have been taking their profit for months now. And so when I look at this weekly chart, remember 2 weeks ago, I was warning about the shooting star. Then last week, I was warning about the potential evening star bearish pattern. And this past week, we had an inside bar. So we are right at the support level, 670, 660, 650. Those are the 3 support levels to the downside. Very critical level of support to hold because that's our trend line. If we happen to break down below that this week, we're probably going to retest 660 zone, which is the 50 EMA. If it's very bad, which would be very unusual, to gap down to 650. If it's extreme, 620. That's extreme for the S&P 500 though. 1%, 2% is normal. 3 to 4% is going to get the attention of people. If we crash 7% in a week, wow, that would be capitulatory. People will be scared. So let's just remain open-minded. For myself, I'm not going to try to predict too far into the future. It's just I'm going to observe the current price action that's happening right now. Let's go to Nasdaq. The clues that we were going to downtrend already started to occur in October. Right? We're having big sell-off, a rally attempt kind of fizzles out, doesn't work out, resistance below 637. We downtrend, we have a hammer at the 50 EMA, we try to bounce, we just can't bounce, get rejected below 624 multiple days, and pulling back. We're nearing that 50 EMA zone one more time. 605 for QQQ in the price, and the next level down would be 600 and then 590. Those are 3 support levels to the downside. The weekly pattern is similar. That's how you know it's big money institutions selling. Shooting star to evening star candle pattern to inside bar. And that 600 level is actually the 12 EMA on the weekly. So a lot of robots like to buy and sell around there. But let's be honest right now on this chart. The 20 EMA and the 50 EMA has held well for the past 6 months. We lost the 20 EMA. We're about to approach that 50 EMA. It's still possible for us to uptrend. We just might not go to sky high levels right now because NVIDIA earnings is coming up. One thing to note is that 1 year ago, in the November 4, 2024 election, if investors bought stocks 1 year ago, it makes sense to me why they are selling now, because they held for 1 year. I'm talking about longer term investors. They held for 1, 2, 3, 4 years and taken their profit near all-time highs for tax benefit purposes, and rebalancing makes sense to me. So other indicators, just for a little bit more insight, the Bollinger Band lower piercing would be around $600 on QQQ, and we're approaching that lower linear regression. Super trend in terms of volatility and stop loss, about 603 would be where people would get stopped out a lot. Something to watch out for. So I'm still bullish because I believe that until we have a longer term consolidation on a daily or weekly chart, or we need to have multiple gap down days, like the tariff type of situation, which I don't think is going to happen anymore. But there's always going to be a certain relative level when the price goes low enough that everyone will say, hey, it's pretty low priced. I'm going to try to buy that dip. Right now, buy the dip is not working for about 45 days just because of all the bad news and events that's been happening in the stock market and the corporations as well. But I'm just saying there's going to be a relative low price at some point in the next probably 2 to 4 weeks. Quickly, Dow Jones. We had that attempt. We're still in the longer term uptrend for the past 6 months, but we had that Bollinger Band poke out, and then this is a daily evening star pattern. So that is why that's a negative pattern, bearish pattern. Dow Jones 465 support zone. IWM has always been downtrending, since October to November. So we had that rejection. It's very similar to Nasdaq rejection below 241, hitting that support level 236. The next level down, if we're going to keep downtrending, 235, 230, and 225 as well. But don't want to short the market too much because it's actually been shorting down. So let's just pretend if I do short this and it happens to hit that level, 1 or 2% down, I'm coming into the short a little bit late swing trading. Would it be better for me to short this zone late October? So I'm just saying, I'm not going to chase shorts personally myself. Let's move to crypto. Total crypto market cap, you can even see in the angle we're downtrending. So let's turn off all the indicators just to get a calibration of the trend. So 2025, we have recovered from these types of lows before. So starting from October, we start to have the downtrend. Currently, we're holding total above 3.25 trillion. There's still a chance. Let's put up Fibonacci support low to high. Low to high. We just lost a 50% retrace. If total market cap gets down to 3 trillion, that would be an interesting spot to buy because that could be the 618 Fibonacci retracement zone. Now, if I start to put on indicators, short-term down cross, 50 EMA is at risk. The yellow line, if you can see here, the 50 EMA yellow line potentially at risk of going below the red 200 EMA if we keep downtrending nonstop. Bollinger Band and linear regression, if we have one more little down flash crash to about the 3.1 trillion, that's where I might buy more crypto. The weekly chart, once we had this large type of head and shoulders, that's when I knew we're probably going to have bearish sell-off a few weeks ago. That's why I've been a little bit hands off, but I'm starting to get a little bit more aggressive in my trading. And again, I'm an aggressive swing trader. If I was conservative, I would just wait, do nothing as a long until we have a massive reversal signal or an upside down head and shoulders to go back to the upside. So right now, I'm just keep watching the charts. That's what I'm doing. I'm not actually trading like crazy. I'm not day trading. I'm not doing too many swing trades. I'm just waiting for a setup. If we have one more leg down, fine with me. I have to re-enter here. If I'm a long-term investor, however, let's flip to a Bitcoin chart just to help people understand. If I'm a long-term investor on Bitcoin, or if you're OG, if you're a experienced investor or trader in Bitcoin, we know that sometimes the price of cryptocurrencies can crash hard, a lot. It can crash negative 80%. It could crash negative 50, 60, negative 70, 80, negative 90% on some altcoins. It's not impossible to happen. We just need all the institutions. Well, we don't need, but it'll happen when all the institutions, the $1 billion, the $1 trillion funds, to sell their Bitcoin to take their profit. Also, the miners. We can't forget the miners. If miners are reaching some kind of inflection point where they need to sell to maintain a profit or break even on their mining of crypto, they will sell as well. I've read news about OG whale wallets over 7 years ago holding, selling their Bitcoin and crypto this entire year. So it makes sense. The price is high. Bitcoin hitting 100,000 or 125,000, it's a high price. 2 years ago, we were at $20,000 Bitcoin. 3 years ago. End of 2022, we went from 20,000 to 100,000 plus. So people are going to take their profit. It's not a surprise to me. However, I'm preparing myself for multiple scenarios. Let's start with the bad case scenario first. Let's just pretend if the end of 2025 is the beginning of a serious bear market crash, because it's possible, right? We went from this $17,000 Bitcoin all the way to $125,000 Bitcoin. We're still in that uptrend. But if this is the actual top of the market, I need to prepare myself for a multi-year potential downtrend. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Multi-year potential downtrend where Bitcoin price could go down negative 50 to negative 80%. What would that be? That would be $50,000 Bitcoin to about $25,000 to about $20,000 Bitcoin. We would love if Bitcoin hits that price. It's discounted. If I draw a trend line, we can see it's very important that we hold the support. We're right at the trend line support. That's why I'm not giving up hope just yet. Yes, there is bearish divergence and bearish momentum just on a weekly, because I've experienced, I could spot this on the chart just from the price action, that the price here is increasing, but the MACD and the RSI is decreasing. So on a longer term weekly chart, we have bearish momentum. But on a daily chart, we're actually starting to build momentum because of this downtrending price action. The MACD and the squeeze is in the middle of their formations right now. If you're a swing trader like I am, 4 hour, unfortunately, very sad, Bitcoin has been downtrending. But I'm the type of aggressive trader who likes to catch these bottoms down here, like 92, 93,000. I just caught the last one 1 or 2 weeks ago. It's just too bad that it didn't rally for a continuation. We went from a symmetrical triangle. Actually, let's go to a daily chart. We went from a potential double bottom to a head and shoulders type of price action. It's hard to see until I zoom a specific way. Turn off all the indicators. We don't need that right now. We went from a double bottom to a head and shoulders. Conflicted. We went to a symmetrical triangle to a head and shoulders. So unfortunately to a double top. So we're fighting the market. We had a bullish setup and then we had a bearish setup and then couldn't hold. We almost had that rally continuation, almost had that, but then price failed on us. This has happened before. It's not a surprise to me. Daily chart, downtrending hard. So now I just have to wait. If I'm conservative, I wait for a double bottom. If I'm more conservative, wait for upside down head and shoulders. If I'm very conservative, don't even buy any of this downtrending crypto or stocks at all. Wait for an uptrending stock reversal. That's discipline in trading. So I just gave you multiple scenarios. A longer term extreme crash scenario, a medium term downtrend, but we find some temporary support. I need to see, we had hammer candles, so I need to see like a double bottom at this point, or like a huge hammer, right? Huge hammer in the market. And a shorter term swing trading setup is if we just sell off for a little bit, then I'm trying to catch that. I don't catch falling knives. It's just that volatility. I know from backtesting so much that when we have a flash crash, it turns into a wick and then we might have a very quick short squeeze back to the upside. Sometimes I like playing those. But nobody has to copy me. Nobody has to follow what I'm doing. Depends on the trader's strategy and style. Okay, Ethereum on the daily chart. This will be the last chart. Yes, we are downtrending. Sad to see, right? But it's not completely over. We've seen Ethereum downtrend almost negative 60%, negative 65%, and still recover from that in 1 year, right? So even if that happens, there's still a chance because there's always a level for crypto prices where it's attractive to buy, discounted. So yes, this downtrend, it is pretty severe. And this weekly chart, we had that triple multi-top and we're pulling back. But we're pulling back into the 50% retrace zone, which is about 3,100. I'm still excited. It's crypto trading. I'm still excited because we could have this potential daily candle double bottom. If we lose that level, no problem. No problem. Excuse me. We'll go to 2,600, 2,700. We lose that level, no problem. 2,100, right? I'm saying no problem because I like buying those oversold setups. However, if somebody's an investor, that would be very painful to hold and witness that go down. We lost the 200 EMA, which is 3,600. We're at risk of that EMA down cross. But if you know crypto, it's when it gets relative oversold to about 2,800 level to 2,600 level price. The stochastic is not even low right now, so I'm just waiting for that. Weekly stochastic, we're losing momentum on the squeeze and the RSI. But the 4 hour, if you're a swing trader, 4 hour, I like the support holding in the short term, 3,100. Now we just need maybe one more flash crash to reset that RSI, get that MACD momentum and Stoch momentum stochastic, and then have it turn into a symmetrical triangle. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a descending triangle. But if it turns into like a symmetrical triangle, we bounce off of that low I'm looking at right now, 3,100. If we bounce off that low, try to bounce up to about 3,300, 3,400. And what I'm anticipating, and we'll close with this, is I believe that this momentum that we're seeing in November, December is actually shorter term, and it's not as severe as the social media and the feeling is in the market right now. It feels bad to watch this happen, go down, price go down in crypto and stocks. But there's going to be a spot, like I said, and I believe that where it's oversold and it's low price discounted relative to all-time highs, that somebody's just going to buy some of that. Yes, the bears are in control, so I don't want to catch complete falling knife. But I like that fact that stopping, holding support right now. I like double bottom. I like upside down head and shoulders. And what I'm excited about is we could get a short squeeze, actually. That's what I'm trying to get to. We could get a short squeeze where everybody's thinking, oh, this is the time to short. It's actually not the best time to short because it's too low. We're actually 33% down. So we're 33% late to the short if I'm coming to right now to short this price. And if everybody's going to short and sell, if the market makers are just going to poke their stop loss out and then kick everybody out, and then shorts are going to try to hop onto that and short down, there could be a violent short squeeze and the price could violently go up to the upside. That's something I'm just staying open-minded to that setup. But this is crypto, however, so I don't want to get too excited about dips because I know even the top cryptos can go down -65 to -75, -80%, and that's where we want to buy crypto. If that happens to Ethereum, let me just call out the price right now. Just in case we have that super extreme bearish scenario, -80% off would be $1,000 Ethereum. I will definitely buy Ethereum at $1,000. Definitely, just based on historical price action. When any crypto goes -80 to -90% off, top 10 crypto or top 10 stock, it is 100% time to buy. 100% time to buy because I'm getting the best deal. I'm getting the best price. It's still the same Ethereum. It's the same Bitcoin. It's the same Nvidia. It's the same Meta stock or Google. It's actually undervalued at that time. So the summary for today is we're having short-term downtrends. Yes, there is risk in stocks and crypto. We could have a extreme bear market crash. It could happen for the next 2 years straight. But as a trader right now, until I see definitive evidence on the chart that almost any technical analyst or chartist would say, that is a huge problem on the charts. We need to sell everything. It's not happened yet. That's why stay open-minded for myself because we've recovered from these -25, -25 to -50% pullbacks on crypto and rallied after that. So it's not completely over yet, but we're about to go into battle, bulls versus bears. We're about to fight for the support right now. And the big money is going to determine which direction it's going to end up in. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, went a little long today, but it's important. Go ahead and click the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video, and let's remain strong in this market. Remember, price moves, but we have to remember what's the actual value of the asset and the underlying. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice weekend. See you next time.